Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome back to the Same Old Arsenal podcast, wherever you are in the world. Episodes, I think it's, I don't know. Welcome, everyone. Hello to everyone in the chat box that are already in there. Hope you've had a good week. Hope you had good fun on Sunday on social media, taking the absolute out of that lot down the road. I had a lot of fun, as some of you would have found out last night. With me and Graham talking about it, or if anyone saw my Twitter feed of constant pictures of Mikel Arteta holding up a glass of wine with the word cheers underneath it. So yeah, I had a lot of fun. Judges, how are you, sir?
I'm good, thank you very much. I'm very good. Like it's been an eventful fucking day. I'm sorry I swore there.
That's all right. Pound in the jar.
That's the wine gone straight away.
Yeah, sorry about that. Like, you know what I mean? So it's been
It's not me you need to apologise to, it's the wife.
I'm sure we're going to get onto that, like, you know what I mean? So there you go.
Yes. Dan, how are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. Not only is it good to see the Same Old Arsenal back, it's good to see a couple of shows, mate. Obviously, Amanda's got her show, you and Graham.
Yeah.
It's great, mate. It's great. The channel is growing and it's back, and it's good to see. But I'm very well, thank you, mate.
Anyway, you know, I'll have a go off it while I'm off work. Anyway,
it's good to see, mate. Good to see, buddy.
This beautiful room that I'm in is freshly painted, ceiling, walls, been decorated.
Okay,
I say when I came home and said to the missus, "Oh, I've lost my job, love," she kind of went, "Really? Oh."
Get that old paint for you.
Yeah, a bit of painting needs to be done.
Got a job for you.
Mark, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm really good. I'm stocked up on cheese, ready to sit back and watch the fireworks go. Well done for your shows, Graham and Amanda. That's good stuff, man. It's nice.
Yeah, we return tomorrow as well with 4 Men and a Mic with Suburban Gooner Chris, Danny from the Bergkamp Wonderland podcast, and James Cook was supposed to be with us tomorrow, but he can't. He's going out for a meal that he forgot all about, but that's all right. Well, so it'll be 3 Men and a Mic, not unless I can draft someone in at the last minute. Look, there's no point in not trying to talk about it, because I suppose we're going to have to talk about it today. Obviously, the news broke this morning when we all kind of woke up that a certain character from Arsenal Fan TV has been charged with various offences and has seen himself get a prison sentence. To be honest with you, I've kind of held this bit back. I'm a little bit gutted, and I'll tell you why I'm a little bit gutted. Because 2 or 3 days ago, or it wasn't 2 or 3 days ago, it was probably a week ago, I sent him a message because I really thought that he was struggling with his mental health, and everyone knows that I've struggled with my mental health, and I don't want to see people struggling either. So I reached out to him and sent him a message. Of course, never got anything back. That's fine. That's up to that person. But then when you hear that was a cover up, to cover up terrible things, I don't know. I felt a bit mugged off, if that's the right word to use. I'm just talking my personal feelings towards it now. You know, you put your hand out to a fella who's saying that he's struggling, and then you find out that he's been using mental health to make a cover up. That's what I'm reading through the lines. Anyway, been put in prison, I believe. To be honest with you, really don't know much about it. Only from what I've been reading on Twitter, and I don't really take what I've been reading on Twitter to much levels of information, to be honest. So I understand that there's been a statement put out by Arsenal Fan TV to say that he'll no longer be on the show anymore. He won't be invited back, and that his video that he'd done after the Manchester City game had been deleted. Lads, it's all a mess, isn't it? What a massive mess at the moment. Let's start with Mark. What do we feel about it? I don't really care, to be honest. If I'm going to be honest, I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you, the only thing I can say about it is because I don't know him and I don't know anybody of the people surrounding. So I hope that the people involved are okay. And I hope that anybody who's suffering from domestic abuse knows where to go. There's plenty of pages on Facebook and on the government websites where you can go and get support in an emergency. There's phone numbers that you can ring, and the police know that you've rung them. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, and someone will help me. Hopefully, there's a number you can dial where the police will listen in to the situation and know whether you're well and okay. We'll get that number for you before the end of the show. I will. So if you're suffering from it, don't suffer alone. If the rumours are true, that's what's happened. So it's not acceptable. It's not something we can tolerate in society. So as I say, I don't know the lad. If he is in a place, if he has gone to prison, then the idea of prison is to re-educate and for people to make atone for their wrongdoings. And so we send him there with a kick up the backside and hope that he's going to realise the error of his ways and come out a better man, because certainly he's got in there a shadow of a man, to be honest, because no man should ever raise a hand to a woman if indeed that is what he's done. So disgusted that any man would do that to a woman, if it is true. But as you say, we don't know the facts. I don't know him, but I just hope that everybody victims involved are well. That is my only thoughts on the matter.
Dan?
I came on here to talk about football in the Arsenal, so I'm going to keep this really quick. Anybody who hides behind mental health as an excuse is an absolute disgrace, as far as I'm concerned. He's gone back on that channel on AFTV, and he knows full well what's going on. And I think that is an absolute disgrace to be hiding behind mental health when you know that not to be the case. AFTV have done absolutely the right thing by getting rid of him and by not associating with him in the future. And that's all I really want to say on it, Craig, if I'm honest with you. I don't care what he has or hasn't done. All I know is it is an absolute disgrace and that they should not go anywhere near people like that. And what I don't want is for the people like myself, like Lee, like others that go on platforms, AFTV, other Arsenal podcasts, to be tied with the same brush, because we ain't all the same. And that's all I've got to say on it, mate.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, Lee, a little bit of guilty by association, I suppose.
Well, no, not really. I ain't done nothing wrong, and nor has Dan, and nor has anybody else. We've just been taken for mugs. I can tell you exactly what I know and what I was told and what's gone on. Is that as far as I know, DT had turned around to Robbie and myself and whatever, and said that during whenever it was that he'd found out that his girlfriend or his partner, I don't know if his wife or whatever, and he actually said was he caught her by like the phone when it goes, you can find out where they are.
Yeah.
And found out that his girlfriend or what was in a hotel with some bloke, and he went round there and whether to sort him out and whatever, and beat the bloke up. And that's what he was done for. That was what he was put in prison for, on whatever. I don't know at that moment in time. I don't know if he was put in prison or not. It was the rumours that going around, like, you know what I mean? He said like that he'd done that. He then said that he was going to take a break from AFTV because of the mental state that he was in, and that is, as far as I know, what happened. That he and it was all them rumours. People said that he was in prison. People were saying that he was, then they wasn't. They didn't know, but he was saying about mental health. Now, as far as I know, what has come out now is he's obviously come out of prison, because this is what I've read as well, is that he come out of prison. The audacity to come back on the channel and say that he was away through mental health issues and things like that, and come back on the channel is an absolute disgrace. It's a disgrace, you know what I mean? Like to do that, it's arrogance of the man, that he knew exactly what was going on and all that. Now I know that he assured Robbie that there was nothing untoward about women or anything like that. That wasn't the case. And whether Robbie believed it or he didn't, I don't know. And that is the truth, as far as I know, that Robbie was told, and lie after lie, not only just from DT, his brother, and all that, were telling him that all these rumours, that there was rumours going about, that they was assuring Robbie that this was not the case, this is what it was, and whatever. Now, it's come to light also that it wasn't his girlfriend at the time, it was his ex-girlfriend, so the girlfriend could do whatever she likes, you know what I mean? Like, this is what I wasn't told this as well. This was like, you know, I was told it was his partner. Now, from my point of view, I'm going to say this. If he'd caught his wife in bed with another bloke, then there's a lot of people that would go around there and do some damage. I'm not saying that they weren't. So, like, as far as I'm concerned, that, you know, it's not right, it's not wrong. I'm not going to get involved with it. So I never got involved what was going on and all that, like, you know. It has only come to light today what really would happen. And this is the thing that has upset me more than anything else, is that he's kept that all quiet. And I can assure you that he has done that. He has kept that quiet from Robbie, and he's kept that quiet from me and everybody else on AFTV. No one knew about all this. I've been reading it today. There's things about knives, kidnapping, taking pictures of her and all of that, like, you know. Now, I can assure you none of this was ever mentioned at AFTV. And I am now that it has come to light today, Robbie has done the right thing and got rid of him, like, because that is bang out of order for lying about it, bang out of order for doing it. And then to say that you are with the mental health thing. Now, I know, listen, you know, with you and your problems and all that, like, I know other people that have got it as well. That is the worst thing that anybody can say. Now, I haven't put nothing on Twitter. I haven't put nothing on social media at this moment in time because I didn't know what to do, really. I didn't really know what to say. I'm livid. I am livid by what's gone on today, right? I'm not happy. And I'm not happy that that people are starting slagging off at myself or anybody on AFTV. And I can assure you that no one, as far as I'm concerned, knew about what was going on with all these. And now, I don't know how all of these things have been kept so quiet all through the time. Like, how has it gone through a court case and it's all got with no one knowing? No one's knowing, like, you know what I mean? Like, people have heard rumours and whatever. But no one was 100% sure it was. Well, I can tell you now, as soon as it has been come out 100% sure, it's happened and things have been done for it. You know what I mean? Like, now, I'm a big believer, and I am a big believer, that everybody deserves a second chance. You know, we're not all squeaky clean and all that, like, you know what I mean? But to have a second chance, you've got to show, first of all, remorse, and also, like, you know, that you want to be. He has shown none of that. All he's tried to do is dodge it. And he's put other people in there. And he's also really, I'm going to be honest with you, and this is the last thing I'm going to say about it, like, you know what I mean? He don't care about me, because if and other people that are on AFTV and all that, all he cares about was himself. And that is it. He was more worried about himself, like, you know what I mean? And for that, and going behind the mental health thing and all that is a disgrace. I will put something on Twitter later on. It's not that I'm being quiet or whatever. Like, I've just, you know, like, really been a bit annoyed about what's gone on today, because people are attacking people that they shouldn't be. All I can say is he's lied and lied and lied. And if I'll be honest, Robbie has believed it. Whether he wants to believe it for whatever reason or not, I don't know. That's something you're going to have to put up with ask Robbie. But I can tell you, and I can assure you, right, that I knew nothing about it until today. And I can tell you this now, and I have spoken to Robbie about it. If he ever comes back on it or anything like that, I will have nothing more to do with it again, because it's not just what he's done. It's the way he's gone about it and the mental health thing and all that, like, and really took us for fools, because you there writing to him and all that, like, I felt sorry for him. thinking like, you know what I mean, like, oh, like it's bad and everything, like, you know what I mean, like, but basically, you know, that's it, like, you know what I mean, done, and that is the truth.
If anyone has been, you know, if anyone knows of anyone or anyone has been involved in any kind of case like this, or, you know, have been involved or have horrible memories, or if this is bringing up anything from past, then there is people out there to help you. You can ring this number, which Mark will will call out for you now. Ring the number if you you know, I suppose affected in any way, you know, like they do on the telly, you know, when they show TV programs that show, you know, horrible situations. If you're affected by anything that you've heard today on Twitter, or if you're affected by anything, by any of the news, then you can call this number. Mark.
Well, the number to call is 0808 800 5000. 0808 800 5000. And also, if you're ever in that situation of a domestic abuse or you're trapped and scared, you can call 999. And if you can't speak, you wait for them to go through their motions of asking what service you need. If you can hear that at all, maybe you've got your phone too quiet, but you just push 55 and that will go straight through to the police. You don't have to speak if you are ever in that situation. So just worth passing on.
Absolutely. Lee, Thursday, Liverpool semi-final of the Carabao Cup, 1 game away from Wembley. With the performance that the boys put in last week, after going down to 10 men. What a performance! I believe you were up there, were you?
I was. After Granit Xhaka got sent off, I turned around to my mate Steve and said, "Why have I come all the way here again to get a good stuffing?" You know what I mean? Like, and I thought that was what was going to happen. But I'll be really honest. I thought we was going to get pumped. But I'll tell you what a performance from the 10 players. Absolutely worked their socks off and defending really, really well. And I'm going to say this now, not for the first time with 10 men, done it against Manchester City previous in the game as well. But really, really good defending and all that. Like, managed to keep us. I'll be honest, like, you know what I mean, at one stage, you know, I'm thinking, well, if we do keep it down to 2, have we still got a chance on that? And then me and Steve, and this is how that game went for us. 45 minutes, he'd turn around to me and go, "We've got to 50. I said, I've got to 50, we got to 55, we got to 60, we got to 70. When we got to 80, we both turned around and said, "We're taking 1-0 defeat now," like, you know what I mean? Like, but we've got to 85. Can we hold on? We've got the 90. Can we hold it? And when we did, and I will say this now, I'm so glad I went. It's probably the best 0-0 I've ever been, because the atmosphere in that stadium from our fans was just unbelievable. It was absolutely fantastic. And I couldn't be more proud of the Arsenal fans that day, like, you know. And I can tell you this now, and I will say this. I reckon our fans helped us get that 0-0 draw. Like, I think it inspired the players, it inspired everybody. And I do think, like, Arsenal fans, you've got a big part to play at the Emirates on Thursday. Make it loud, make it proud. And I think we've got a real good chance of getting through. Listen, and I'm fed up with it. All I heard up there from those Liverpool fans, we ain't got Mane, we ain't got Salah. You know what I mean? We didn't have Smith Rowe, we didn't have Partey, we didn't have Odegaard. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't have Tomiyasu. You know, we didn't have Granit Xhaka for 70 minutes. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day. But that was it. You know what I mean? So, fair play, fantastic job from the players, fantastic job from the manager. He has to take a lot of credit for that, because don't forget, he lost Cedric after 1 minute. I don't know if you noticed that. He actually got done in the first kick of the game. Like, you know what I mean? He was superb, got it right on the day. And this is what I say about it. If the manager does the business, I am willing and always willing to give him the praise he deserves. If he does wrong, I will hammer him as well. But he got everything right on that day. And one special mention, I mentioned it on Twitter as well. for a player, I don't know when his last game was for Arsenal. Callum Chambers come into there and he was absolutely superb. First dodgy couple of 10, 15 minutes, but, you know, ain't played for ages. To put in that sort of performance, magnificent.
Absolutely. Anything to fear on Thursday, you know, after putting in that performance? I mean, I was doing a show last night with Graham, and I actually said to Graham, I can't see why everyone thinks Liverpool, you know, are favourites. When you sit back and listen to Graham, he kind of changed my mind on it. I suppose that Liverpool have to be favourites, really, to get to the final. But obviously, what is going to make a massive difference is that we're at home, and if we can, if the Emirates atmosphere can keep at the level it's been, and start making the Emirates a bit of a cauldron, surely being at home is massive advantage. Dan, would you say that Liverpool are clear favourites?
I think Liverpool are favourites. I feel personally that they have got the strongest 11. Craig, there's rumours that we might even have to call this game off again, and Burnley want to call the game off as well. So we might have another couple of weeks off here at the moment. It's ridiculous, isn't it? But when I look at the performance at Anfield, not only did it impress me because of who it was against, it impressed me because it was showing fight. There were like lions out there. There's 10 men of Arsenal, and you wouldn't have known it. It was fantastic the way that we set up. The manager deserves a lot of credit. I thought the way that we set up after the red card was exceptional. And the jury was really out for me with Ben White. It was Ben White and then Ben Shite for me, then Ben White again. Oh my God, he was absolutely exceptional. It was a pleasure watching him defend against Liverpool. It was, and everybody loved the picture of him when Minamino put it over the bar, and of course you got to love that also. But Lee's right. All I heard from the Liverpool fans was that, well, we got Mane and Salah out. Well, they need them back because going forward, they didn't look too impressive. But we had no Tomiyasu, no Ødegaard, no Partey, as Lee said, no Granit Xhaka. And we started the game with quite a poor side in certain areas of the team. So we have to look at that and give the players a lot of credit as well as the manager. One player I do want to big up, actually, is I'm always a massive fan of this. When you're having a bad game and you kind of continue to have a bad game, sometimes you can have a bit of sympathy and say it just wasn't his night. I saw the first 20 minutes, Lokonga looked absolutely awful. I thought, oh my God, he'd not have to come off, but he can't because he ain't got nobody else to bring on. Raised his game, second half. When that red card went down, he was sensational in midfield, I thought, at times. He really raised his game, and I thought that was great to see. And I've got to big up Saka and Martinelli at the moment. That gives us a chance. You talk about our Liverpool favourites. The reason that we've always got a chance is because those two do not stop running. Both of them absolutely shattered at the end. Martinelli on the floor. The work rate and the tenacity and the mentality of these two kids at 20 years old is an absolute pleasure and a joy to watch. And so many people I know, including myself, crying for Martinelli to come into this side. And since he's been in here, he's been absolutely sensational in games. He really, really has been impressing me. And it's great to see. Really good result. I said on the night, I'd take a 2-1 loss, Craig, because it meant we're still in the tie. 0-0 with 11 men I would have taken and bit your hand off. 0-0 with 10 men. What a result. We got a great chance to get into this final because we're at home. And fingers crossed we'll have some players back. And we can give them a right go because they've still got Salah and Mane out. And going forward, we know we can shut up shop. So I think we've got a great chance. And I'm absolutely buzzing for it, mate. I'm really looking forward to it. And Lee's right. We need the crowd again because they were magnificent.
Absolutely. Mark, I mean, you've got to agree with what Lee says, really. Probably the best 0-0 I've ever seen. You know, it was, and to be honest, I thought it was a great game of football. I mean, I watched it sitting in this very chair, and my daughter Lily was watching it with me, and even she was, you know, she was clasping the hands together, and you could see she was getting a little bit stressed out, like, you know. So welcome to supporting the Arsenal, love. But a great game and a great performance, Mark. You know, play like that in the second leg, we've no problem, surely.
Play like that in the second leg, and they will batter us, won't they? You know what I mean? You can't invite too much on, Craig, can you? I mean, at the end of the day, they will suit. You know, if they'd have had their shooting boots on, they'd have had their fill. Let's have it right. I think they had 17 chances to have 3. You know, shots on target, shots at goal. If they'd have had the boys, the African boys would have been in big trouble, but they haven't. And you can only play and beat what's in front of you. And I agree with Dan. Sambi looked better, strangely enough, when he wasn't carrying Xhaka. He was better off on his own in there, you know what I mean? So they're still growing, still learning. Ben White, there's a couple of people have mentioned in the chat. Ben White's colossus the other night, but you know, in those games, it's like, you know, Craig, 0-0 draws. You know, they make and a team that's had 17 chances. You know, the defence against and the goalkeeper are going to look good, aren't they? Because they're getting a highlights reel, tackles and saves and interceptions and whatnot. So, yeah, listen, we can't play like that. The second leg, you know, you can stop. Not many teams stop Liverpool scoring.
Absolutely,
and we'll do bloody well to stop them scoring in another 90 minutes. So, I would say we're going to have to find our shooting boots, and that'll be helpful if we've got 11 on the pitch, and maybe we've had a bit of a rest because we found ourselves a little holiday at the weekend. Nice little feet up Sunday, which was pleasant, wasn't it? We all enjoyed that. Everyone loves a Sunday.
Absolutely.
Lovely day for a walk along the beach. It was.
Yes,
I thoroughly enjoyed that. So thank you, Martin Odegaard. Well, I mean, I'm sure we'll get to the
hang on. I thought it was a masterclass by Granit Xhaka, to be honest. Because if he didn't get sent off, we would have had to play it.
Well, I hear today differently. He didn't come into it. Apparently, that wasn't the thinking. It was the case that we put to the Premier League was very much COVID related, but we'll get into that later, I'm sure. But yeah, listen, cup ties, we know, don't we? You know, we can win cups. We don't doubt ourselves winning a cup. We know on our day we can beat these Liverpool, Cities, Chelseas, because we've done it 2 years ago under this manager with worse players, by the way. So yes, we can win this cup. And if anybody says it's a tin pot cup, and they're not really interested in, you know,
not for me.
Only people that don't win cups say things like that.
Yeah,
that's what losers say. If you want to win things, there's only realistically 2 things we could have won this year, and we're out of one of them. So let's go for it. Go, like Lee said last week. You know, we're going to go for every single game we're in. We're going to put out our best team, and we're going to give it a right good go. And as long as the lads leave the amount of effort on the pitch as they did last week against Liverpool, we ain't going to be too far away, are we?
Absolutely.
And that's all we can ask.
Absolutely not. Bring this one in from Liam. Thank you very much, mate. Evening, gents. He says cheeseburgers all round. Oh, it's been a while since we got a cheeseburger.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed, Liam. Thank you very much indeed, mate. Lee, what I wanted to say about the Liverpool game at Anfield is, if anyone doubted that those players aren't playing for that manager, surely that is the game to put that myth to bed.
Yeah, you can say that on that performance. And what the problem I've got with that is that it was only 4 days before that, so a shambolic performance at Nottingham Forest, and I've seen that one at Everton. Look at Everton at the moment; they've won 1 game in 13. Sacked their manager yesterday, and who was that win against?
Yeah. It's football.
It does.
You're gonna lose, you know.
It does, but it's the way you lose sometimes. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, listen, no one was moaning and groaning when we lost to Man City. Do you know why? Because we give it our best and we really put in a performance, and we just come up a little bit short on the day for whatever reasons. But when you put in performances like that at Everton and the performance like that at Nottingham Forest, it is a bit of a worry. And Mikel has got to get rid of those ones. You know what I mean? But the performance on Thursday at Anfield was fantastic. You know what I mean? Listen, you know, Mikel's going to take a lot of praise, but he's got to take a little bit of criticism as well. You know, this continually keeps happening with Granit Xhaka. Continuously keeps happening with him, but you know, he's not calling him out. He's letting him get away with it, so it's happening. I'm not a Xhaka hater as some of us here are. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to say that now, but
right down you, mate.
But no, I'm not mentioning no names. Mentioning no names. But what I will say, and what I will say about it is that this has got to stop. We know we cannot continue to keep going down to 10 men and mainly him. And this is not a criticism of him. I think at the end of the day, because his reputation now is going against him as well, and that's not helping us out in the long term as well. I'm going to say this now. If that was Van Dijk, I think it would have been a yellow card. That's not saying that I'm just saying because it's Granit Xhaka, oh, we've got, there's a different, and that's happened because of what he's done in the past, Craig. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to stop. He's too much of a liability now, like, you know what I mean, to keep seeing it to happen. It's not just the sending offs as well. It's the pull of the shirt at Brighton, the pull of the shirt at certain other games, like at Manchester City. I thought it was a little bit harsh. And I think at the end of the day, it is a little bit too harsh at times. I thought it was a harsh sending off, but you can see why it is. Yeah, but there was no benefit of the doubt with Granit Xhaka, is there? Like, straight off. And I think, where I see other players just slightly get a bit of benefit of doubt, it's got, and I think that Mikel has now got, I think we need to say, right, we've got to get somebody else in and move on from there. Like, I really do think it's time now.
Absolutely. I can't say, Dan, look, I'll bring you in on that one. I know you're not his biggest fan, but like, there's no more excuses for him anymore. Do you know what I mean? You can say that it's coincidental that we haven't qualified for the top 4 since he's been here. I think it would be very harsh to blame him outright for not getting top 4. But he is for me. He, like Lee said, he is becoming a liability. He's giving referees and officials every single opportunity to send him off, book him, do whatever they is. So I mean, Granit Xhaka for me, I don't think he's still under contract. So I mean, that's a problem. I think his contract runs till next year, doesn't it? So I mean, do we cash in him? Do we get rid of him? Do we keep him? There's rumours that Guendouzi could be coming back, but then from the research that I done on it, it seems that Guendouzi's deal is still active because the deal was made before the transfer ban. But Granit Xhaka, Dan, he won't be here next year, surely not.
We keep saying that, don't we? Every season. I've been praying. It was obviously Roma, and I was right, yeah, 13 million, that'll do. That's what he's worth. He's be lucky to get that. No, we want 30. I thought, you're not going to get 30. You might get 15, but you ain't going to get 20. He's not a good enough player for that. That's what he's worth, isn't he? He's about 13 to 15 million pound player, in my opinion. And when you get sent off like that, you're probably worth about 3 million. So he's no good for us long term. I've never really liked the player. I certainly think he has good games in an Arsenal shirt, but he's always got that liability factor. He's always a ticking time bomb. And I've seen the Xhaka movie too many times, and what we need to do now, my best analogy is something I love doing at the weekend is Mark knows he's coming around to see my niece and nephew, and you go, you watch the movie with him, you watch Paw Patrol, and you don't really like Paw Patrol. You've had enough of Paw Patrol. Then you watch it again, and you think actually he needs to stop watching Paw Patrol. Then he'll watch Toy Story. Oh, this is a bit better. Then he'll watch Shrek. Oh yeah, I'll take that. And then before you know it, you're watching Die Hard and Man on Fire. We need to go and buy a Man on Fire or a Die Hard now. I've seen Paw Patrol too many times, and it's gonna blow up in your face, mate, if you stick to watching Paw Patrol. It is, and I just can't see this guy being ever a great Arsenal legend. And people try to compare a similar scenario to Patrick Vieira. I mean, it's quite insulting on Patrick Vieira to even put them in the same bracket, if I'm honest with you. I understand that he did get sent off, but he also performed week in, week out, and he's still not been replaced after almost 16, 17 years. So when you look at what Granit Xhaka has done at Arsenal, there's been too many downs, and I think the pros probably do not outweigh the cons. I think there's been too many opportunities for this guy now, and he keeps making the same mistakes. And I can make mistakes as a player, I can make mistakes as a person, but try to make not the same mistakes. And it's not even the same one mistake now, it's the same 3 or 4 mistakes. How many times has he got sent off? How many passes has he let go astray? How many penalties has he given away? How many times has he smashed the ball against someone and it's gone in or gone to their striker? Too many for me. I think somebody said the other day that even Mustafi didn't make this many mistakes, and they're right, you know. So as much as Xhaka's a better player than Mustafi, he still needs to go. We need an upgrade. I don't think there's any Arsenal fan that's saying we don't need an upgrade. I think everyone agrees that we need an upgrade. I think some Arsenal fans like what Granit Xhaka does. And I suppose with Lee and Harry as well, I'm a little bit like that with Nicolas Pepe. I don't think he's the greatest player in the world, and I would like to upgrade on him and replace him. But actually what he does do good, I quite rate. And he doesn't make the mistakes that Xhaka had done. He certainly hasn't over the 6 years that he's been here anyway. Pepe's been here. Is this his third season? And I can't think of too many mistakes he's made apart from one red card and a couple of loose passes. Actually, when you look at what Granit Xhaka's done, it's a lot worse. So for me, I know I have a bit of a tongue-in-cheek about the old Paw Patrol analogy, but I think everyone knows that I am not a fan of this guy, and I would love to see him out the door in the summer and replaced with a Bruno Guimaraes or somebody like Basuma, because I think for me that's our kind of upgraded level on Granit Xhaka. And that's all I really have to say about the matter, Craig. I think it's obvious. It's no shock to anybody that I'm not his biggest fan. I've been very critical of him, and I've been very critical of him for not just his poor play at times, but actually for his mentality. And he's supposed to be a leader and a captain. Leaders and captains don't do that for me. And I still can't forgive him for throwing the armband on the floor. And I still don't really forgive Arsenal Football Club for picking it back up and putting it on his arm, if I'm honest. So I want to see him out the club. And hopefully we get an upgrade in the summer, mate.
Hopefully, or we get an upgrade next week. Would be nice. We'll just bring this one in from Alexander. Xhaka needs to go. Ref want to give him a red card now. Lee's 100% right. He's a very big liability. He could save his career with a move to Italy. Thank you very much, mate, with your for the kind donation there. Thank you very much.
That's a Big Mac. That's
another Big Mac there. Yeah. This one comes in from Lee Farrell. Thank you for your question, Lee. Mark, we'll come to you. If Tommy Yasu is back on Thursday, could we play Callum Chambers in defensive midfield?
No,
we ain't got no chips with that. What's the matter with no chips?
Because he played there for Fulham, didn't he? And done very well.
Yeah, they got relegated. Next question. Well, absolute waste of space. He shouldn't even play right back. Let's have it right.
Come on. Yes, Fulham got relegated, but he done well.
I'll tell you what. If you're going to have a reshuffle and you're going to involve Callum Chambers, I'll keep Callum Chambers right back. I'll put Tommy Yasu in the centre because he used to play there in Italy. And I'd move Ben White into the centre of midfield because he can actually pass a ball. That's what I'd do if you're going to go down that route. But preferably, I'd like to think we could keep Callum Chambers firmly on the bench. He done well the other day, but I mean, you know, one swan doesn't make a summer, as people like to say. He's played one good game in 14 years.
So coming out, these analogies have got Paw Patrol going into Die Hard, and now we've got one swan doesn't make a summer.
Yeah, so anyway, Mayor Dingway, is it? Whatever his name is. Lee looks like rubble. I'm obviously Ryder because he's the cool one. Which one are you going to be, Craig?
I'll be the geezer, the small geezer who says, "Come on, pups, get your ass together, stop fucking shitting, and let's go and rescue people."
Oh yeah, I saw that episode. It's brilliant.
Yeah. It's quite a good one, isn't it? I don't know what his name is. Look at this. I don't know what's going on here. Everyone's coming in for the fast food now. This is from Devon Gunn. It's supposed to be Blue Monday today, so have a double cheeseburger each, fellas. Great to see the podcast back. Come on, you gooners. Thank you very much.
What's Blue Monday? What's all that about then? What's Blue Monday?
Oh, I don't want to know. I don't want to know with your shenanigans. Which
is it?
The month.
Yeah, probably something to do with tax league. I don't want to go into it.
The back of a taxi.
Yeah. Lee, this Vlahovic, whatever his name is.
Yes.
Vlahovic.
Move on, please.
What?
Move on. I've had enough of reading. He's coming. He's not coming. He doesn't want to play for us.
Why are you putting yourself through it?
His agent wants more money. This, that, and the other. Move on, please. Move on.
You talk. Listen. Why do you put yourself through it? Like, you know what I mean? Like this. I remember when Gabriel. Oh no, he wants to go to Liverpool. He wants to go here. He wants to go. What will be, will be. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. You read one thing, it turns around and says everything's all on point and all that. Like, when Arsenal and if Arsenal make a bid for him, do you think they're going to put a bid in if they've not spoken to these agents and these players? Don't be so ridiculous. So what it will be. If they sign it, it's obviously they're in for him. And I'm telling you this now. if there was no indication that he wasn't willing to sign, they wouldn't be wasting their time with it, like, you know what I mean? So what will be, like, you know, and don't worry about it. Arsenal need to sign players. I'm going to say this now. With the postponement of the Spurs game, the one thing that Arsenal done wrong was getting rid of their players out on loan. They shouldn't have done that. Arsenal shouldn't have done that. Get players in before you get them out. And that is the one thing that we haven't done. But I do believe Arsenal will make 2 signings in the transfer window. They need to sign a midfield player and they need to sign a centre forward. So we'll probably get a right back and centre half. No, we will get the deals done. We will get the deals done. Whether it will be Vlahovic or whoever it will be, trust the board. Trust Edu to get it right. He has done in the past and he will do in the future.
Do you know the one that excites me is the rumours and Brendan Rodgers didn't really do anything to extinguish the flames with the Tielemans chat.
That would be a very good one.
I like that.
Same here. Dan?
So this is where I sit.
Here we go.
Here we go.
She's not the same one that said. This is not the one that said about Hassan Manoir, is it?
Oh no, he went a long time ago, mate. Usamawar and Buendia, he said, and I was like, "Nah, you're wrong, mate. Off you go." I'm glad we didn't get Buendia. Anyway, no, I haven't got any rumours. I don't know anything, if I'm honest with you. All I know is that we're interested in Vlahovic and Arta, as everyone keeps telling us. Wijnaldum rumours on loan. Tielemans, I heard as well. Isaac, or Isaac, however you want to say it, up top. Calvert-Lewin, Ollie Watkins, Ivan Toney. We hear it all, don't we? There's a lot of rumours that we hear. A little bit like rumours that we've heard today elsewhere. And I feel like, personally, it's going to get to a stage where we are going to sign somebody. And I think it will just be somebody.
But doesn't that worry you? Because it worries me. Somebody.
Yeah, massively.
You know, like, can you play in midfield? Great. What's your name? Oh, yeah. You come play for us. That's what I'm worried about.
Dan the man.
Well, I'm worried. Any news on Draxler? Yeah, Benzema, Yann Villa, Higuain. Yeah. Are they past their medicals yet? Salomon Kalou, is he come yet? It's unbelievable. I think personally we will get a centre midfielder. I don't think we're going to get a centre forward. Personally, I think we're going to keep Eddie and Lacazette until the end of the summer. I don't think anybody wants Aubameyang, so we're going to keep him. I don't think anybody wants Pepe, so I think we're going to keep him. Balogun's gone on loan. Apparently Pablo Maria's gone on loan, and Ainsley Maitland-Niles has gone on loan. We cannot cancel the Liverpool game, as the rumours are just now coming through, that we're going to cancel the game on Thursday, if we're going to sell Pablo Mari tomorrow on loan. Come on.
Loan, yeah. So where is
this? Yeah, where is this plan that Edu and Arteta have had, and where's it gone wrong? Because it isn't.
It's great shithousery, though. It is great shithousery. 2 days, a day after we postpone the North London derby, we're sending another player out on loan.
We're going to send another one out on loan. It is unbelievable, Craig, isn't it? This is where I stand on it. I do feel like we will get a defensive midfielder in or a centre midfielder in. I don't think it's going to be Tielemans. I don't think it's going to be Basuma. I don't think it's going to be Bruno Guimaraes. I think it will probably be either Wijnaldum or Arta on loan. That's what I think will happen in the winter transfer window. I think Vlahovic is going to wait and see where Arsenal are before he decides to come this month. And in the summer, if we get Champions League, he might look at us. But if I'm honest, he's probably going to be waiting for the big boys to come in, because this kid is ridiculously good. And I'll be very surprised if we get it done. Having said that, I will praise Mikel Arteta and Edu, as I have done off the field, not so much on it, for their transfers if they get this over the line. Because this kid, apart from Erling Haaland, or Haaland, however they want to say it, is the real deal. He is the only striker I would have in world football ahead of Vlahovic at the moment, and that's Haaland, because Mbappe's a winger as far as I'm concerned, or a wing forward, wide forward. Vlahovic is the real deal. He can head, he can flick on, he can hold up the ball. He's got a wand of a left foot. He can take penalties. He does like to miss them like he did tonight, but he can take penalties. He can shoot, he can score, he can be dangerous in the box, and he can drive. Something Giroud could never do was go one-on-one. This kid can. He's 21 years old and his numbers are scarily good. Scarily good. Now, Harry made a good point. It's funny me saying that, isn't it? Harry Simi making a good point, but he did make a really good point. He said that Vlahovic may look at Haaland's career and think maybe Arsenal is a stepping stone. Now, I don't want Arsenal to ever be a stepping stone. I want Arsenal to be the club that he comes to for 10, 15 years, and he's absolutely exceptional for us. But he may look at Haaland's situation at Dortmund and say he went to Dortmund and now he's going to end up at Bayern Munich or Man City. Maybe that's the route I go down. Fiorentina, I could go straight in at Bayern Munich in the summer because I believe he's good enough. But he may look in January and think, actually, let me see what I can do with Arsenal and see if I can get them to the top 4 or win a League Cup with them, and then potentially look at my future. But I feel it's all about now Arteta and Edu, because we believe that this money's no option. It's not about us not wanting to pay it. It's about him, whether he wants to come or not. So for me, if they can sell the project like they did to Thomas Partey, like to Gabriel, like to Kieran Tierney, like they did to quite a few players that have come in of late that have been obviously in a different scenario but similar to age, if they can sell that dream, then let's see what happens in this market with this player. I think Arta and Wijnaldum are a lot more likely to sign than Vlahovic, and don't be surprised if we look at Vlahovic and end up with Diego Costa. I'll end there.
I don't know why, but I'd love to see him at Arsenal. I don't know why. When he was at Chelsea, I used to say I'm sure I've said it on podcasts, back through the years. I used to, say, God, I love Diego Costa. Oh yeah, but he's a bastard. But he'd be our bastard. Do you know? It's just that way he'd be our bastard now.
I think we might get him as well, Craig.
Yeah, I would love to see him, because I would love to see him, I don't know, take out a Spurs player and give that smile to him. That Diego Costa smile when people used to start on him and he used to just stand there and smile at people. And I used to be, oh, you bastard. But to have him on our team doing that.
Same as Suarez, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. But here's a comment from Colt at the Red Barrel. Hello, mate. Great to see you. Thanks for coming along. Lee, I kind of touched on this last night with Graham. He said it shouldn't be ignored how ineffective in front of goal we've been overall since being without Olivier Giroud.
Who's that?
Colt the Red Bell says it shouldn't be ignored in how effective in front of goal we've been since we've been without a Giroud type up front.
100%. I think, listen, we've really relied on Aubameyang, you know what I mean, and his goals really, I think with Lacazette, I like Lacazette as a player, but he's not really a goal scorer in my opinion, and we need someone like that. And the thing is with Giroud, he's a sort of player that would get you, those balls coming across and things like that. And I never think we ever play to his strengths, you know what I mean, and we need that now. I look at Liverpool against us the other night. And it was a good tactic from Mikel Arteta. He just actually said, right, we'll let you have the wide areas and you can cross and our centre-halves read the ball. If we play now, a lot of teams will do that against us as well. If you've got a Giroud or that sort of type of centre-forward, it opens up so many more avenues. Someone you can get crosses in and something and that's why Liverpool, Chelsea done very, very well on it for a few years with Giroud. People underestimated. Big time, and I feel that if Arsenal were to get somebody like Vlahovic now, and I mean now, not in the summer or whatever, now, it would really push us on to a top 4. Really would do. It's a massive thing if we can get that, because it gives us another string to our attacking bow that we haven't got. We've got all the nice little neat things and all that, but if he's someone that can do what Lacazette does, knit it all together, but get on the end of crosses and things like that, we're in for a very, very good chance of getting in top 4. We're in a very, very good chance of getting top 4 without him, but I think it will put us in a very, very strong position if we get him. Very strong.
This one comes in from the Mongoose. Thank you very much. Great name. Love it. Surely if we're loaning out players, we got to be bringing someone in this month. Love the pod as usual, boys. Thank you very much indeed for your kind comment. It is much appreciated. Mark, I think we touched on it last week, didn't we? Someone's got to be coming in with all these outs. Surely.
Yeah, you'd think so. You'd like to hope so. The boys are coming back. We need to touch on Aubameyang's health. Obviously, we send him our best wishes. We know it hasn't been in the form that we know he can be. But maybe there's been some underlying health issues going on for some time. Certainly, something ain't been quite right. I know his mother's been struggling with the COVID. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. These things could be hereditary. But anyway, we wish him well, and he's coming back. And Partey, I don't think he'll be away too much longer. Another week, a couple of games. So we're going to start.
He'll be back Tuesday, Mark.
Exactly. Tomorrow Tuesday. Tomorrow Tuesday.
Yeah. I think if they lose tomorrow or don't win, results go against them. They could be
back for the North London derby. That's a shame.
They could be back for Burnley.
Yeah, mate. Well, Burnley game will be off. They've got 10 fit players, so they're in dire straits.
What a disgrace that they've called off that game.
Yeah.
I want something done. I want a petition.
Someone's got to come in, and you're quite right. Someone's got to come in up top. As I said last week, one goal from our centre forwards, if you call Balogun, Eddie, Uber, and Laka, our front four. Really, one goal from a penalty spot away from home against Norwich. He's not good enough a return for those four lads. If they've got dreams, especially the two young lads, of being Premier League starters for a big club or any club, you need to score goals, and we need goals. We can't be asking for the Odegaards, who's been absolutely phenomenal, by the way. I think we've missed him last couple of games. I genuinely believe that. He's a fantastic player and really growing into the team, the importance in the team, and Saka, Smith Rowe, etc. We can't be asking these boys. I know Laka does a holding up job, but it's not really his game. He's not big enough to do that role. I don't think Mikel would go for a lad like Giroud. I think he would expect his forwards to be able to do more. I think he would want his forwards a bit, if he comes out of the Barcelona academy, the Pep Guardiola way of thinking, that total football is the way that they would have been educated. And I think that he would be looking for more from a centre forward, someone who can not only hold the ball up, but can actually turn a defender and go at. And as we're saying, that was a massive failing of Giroud. So I think Arteta will be looking for someone better. And look, if the rumours are true and we're offering 50, 60 million pounds for this lad in January, that investment is needed in this window. And if it's not Vlahovic, because of agent fees or whatnot, I believe he's worth waiting for till the dying embers. And if that means that we do then bring in a Diego Costa when we know that Vlahovic deal is dead in the water, to just get the numbers up for 6 months, I'm all right with that, as long as we're bringing in someone who's a winner and who's got some desire and comes in on some sort of heavy bonus payment whereby his productivity is rewarded. He's not just coming for a retirement check. So yes, we've got to be getting numbers in, bodies in, and that has got to be in the final third for me, because the back five, I have to say, are really looking solid. So, it's got to be we need a centre forward because I feel that Aubameyang's time could well be up.
I think so. Well, that brings me on lovely. A quick flash question to you all then. This one comes in from T-Jazz. I hope I've said that right. I hope I haven't made a mess of that. My favourite show of all Arsenal podcast. Oh, thank you very much indeed. Is there any way back for Aubameyang? If he is ready to apologise, does he deserve a second chance in the team?
Well, everybody deserves a second chance. I don't think he's going to get one though. If I'll be honest, I think maybe he's been on last saloon in the North London derby last year. I think he got dropped for that. I think there was probably things happening before that. Just drop someone after one indiscretion. I think it's been happening for a while. Listen, he's still our player, and at the end of the day, he still gets paid by Arsenal, so there's always a way back. I think that if he does come back, he needs to perform a lot better. But for me, listen, I think it's maybe I'm being a little bit harsh, maybe that, but I think it's time to move on from him now and be, cut your losses and go from there. I fear that it's probably gone too far down the line for manager and player, if I'll be honest.
Dan, anyway back?
It depends what Mikel Arteta means by non-negotiables, if I'm honest. If he's going to stick to his guns and say non-negotiables, I'm not going to see Aubameyang in an Arsenal shirt again, in my opinion. But I don't really understand his non-negotiables. Some of them he seems to be able to get away with. Some of them I can't get away with anything. So it's going to be interesting. I personally feel like his time's done. Along with Granit Xhaka, I'd like to see him leave because I think that we need to go past that stage now. The only player that I would be willing to give another chance to that has potentially lost it is Matteo Guendouzi, because I like the player and I think there's a talent there. But unfortunately, it looks to me as if the damage has already been done there with Mikel Arteta, and I can't see him getting back into the side either. So the pair of them, I think, it's probably time for them both to leave and we move on. But listen, doesn't mean that he is not an absolutely sensational centre forward, and one that I would say is probably up there with the numbers if you look at games to goals ratio with some of our best strikers ever. So I've got all the time in the world for what he's done for the club, Aubameyang, but I think it's time that he does move on now, and another club will pick him up. It just depends how much they're going to pay him a week. Otherwise, he'll be stuck with us. But I don't see him playing for Arsenal again, Craig.
Mark, I don't know if it's me that's upset your mother-in-law or you've upset your mother-in-law. She doesn't want Costa here.
Yeah, Costa. Why would you? She's got a point. I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't
is it
want
me
Diego
or Mark?
Costa.
It's obviously Mark, has to be.
Imagine if we go for Vlahovic and we end up with Costa. Jesus. If anyone says trust the process after that, sorry.
Have you
shocking, that is.
Have you ever heard anything not so Arsenal in all your life?
Well, exactly, mate. I know. Unbelievable, isn't it? I think it would be like not learning from mistakes, that Craig, wouldn't it? With the Willian deal and the David Luiz and the Mikel Sylvester, Mark Poom when we got him at age 59. Like, let's just stop going for has-beens. Let's go for someone who's in form. It's got to be Vlahovic, man. It's got to be. Got to go and get him.
Mark, can we laugh at Tottenham now?
Yeah, you can if you want. I mean, there is another name I'd like to put in. There's Jonathan Davids in Ligue 1, who's banging in some goals. Very young player, still got a lot to learn. It's just pretty much his first full season in the top flight over there, but he's doing very well. So we're talking about young lads coming in, and we want some youth and some athleticism and stuff. And that's a lad to look at. But then we're going down another route of taking game time away from Balogun to give it to a French lad. I'm not adverse to what nationality they are. What I'm saying is we've got a young talent. Why not give him the game time? So it's a difficult one, isn't it? Do we need some experience to get us over the line? Diego Costa-esque, who's proven in the league. He's an emergency signing. We need bodies. That's what we were saying. So, sorry, what did you ask me, Craig? Can we laugh at Tottenham? Always. We can always laugh at Tottenham. Yeah. Let's laugh at Tottenham's statement they put out. Let's laugh at that because that was hilarious.
That was very good, wasn't it? They were
talking, rattling and ranting about the Conference League. I mean, what the hell has that got to do with the Premier League? Different rules, different competition, different nationality. Yeah. What the hell are you going on about, you fools?
I've never seen such an outrage. Why is it always upright? There's been before the North London derby was postponed. There was 19 other games been postponed in the Premier League, using the same rules.
Burnley have had about 3 or 4 of them, just on their own.
But as soon as Arsenal do it, the journalists must have got out of bed on Sunday afternoon and right, this is what
you know why? It's because everybody's had their hospitality at the new ground pissed up that afternoon, isn't they? Everyone was looking forward to the wine and meal at the a la carte restaurant at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Everyone had booked their tickets, took their wife to the theatre. Don't worry about it, love. We're staying in the top hotel. It's all on the Daily Mail because I've got a job down here tomorrow at the Tottenham game. What? It's off. I'm going to have to pay for my own hotel. Oh my God! Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville have an absolute hissy fit because they're not getting their $5,000, $10,000 freelance appearance on Super Sunday. Shut up, you couple of mugs! Honestly, haven't you got a child to spit at?
Yeah. Lee always takes the Arsenal to cause massive uproar.
I've absolutely loved it.
As I said, isn't it great that we are hated again?
I'll tell you what I said to my Arsenal are back. My mate phoned me up today. You're a disgrace of a club. I said, why is that? And getting that game called off. I said, well, what do you mean? Well, having all that. I said, well, you You had your game called off on the conference game. You didn't have you didn't close your training ground then. You know what I mean? Like, you could have played that. You could have played your kids that game. Well, it's different. No, it ain't. You could have played your kids, but you didn't. But like, all of a sudden they've changed their rules. You know what I mean? And he said, "We're not going to agree on this, are we?" I said, "Too right, we're not." Like, but we've boiled your piss, and I love it. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely love it. And I'll tell you what, I thought the funniest thing. Well, we've done all this food. We're going to have to throw it away and give it away. Like, you know what I mean? I'll tell you what, like. Well, you know, you can imagine all like the homeless were all queuing up round the crewing up round Tottenham. Give me some food. Give me some food. Absolute joke. The lot of them. Like,
I wonder if it was lasagna. Do you reckon it was lasagna?
Lasagna. I'll tell you what. I've got a plate of lasagna. I might have that later on. Like, you know what I mean? But they brought up something. They brought up the lasagna gate 16 years ago. They brought that
16 years ago.
Love it. Yeah. And I'll tell you what makes you laugh is, right, that they were desperate. This is what makes you laugh. My mate today, his first thing, you're a disgrace. You're a disgrace. You didn't want to play against us. You know what I mean? So I said, oh, you wanted us to play our youth team against you? And he said, yeah, but it was a good time to play Spurs. We got 4 players missing as well. So what are you worried about for then? Desperate to play our youth team. And do you know what? 1980 was the last time that this happened. They made us play 6 youth and reserve team players. Do you know what happened in 1980? We beat them. The gift that keeps on giving, Tottenham Hotspur. Now listen, Spurs, we're the big club. We'll tell you when we want to play you, because that's what matters. We are the big club. We always have been. And they can't stand, you know, like, oh, you come over and we come over from the Woolwich and set up our tents in North London and just become bigger and better than you. It must boil their piss. And I love it. I love it. Bring it on more. I cannot stand them. Cannot stand them. But they are the gift that keeps on giving. But I will say this. It is all banter. Do not abuse. Please do not abuse. You know what I mean? It is all banter, and it's gone a little bit too far with the abuse. Poor old Jamie, he's been getting a little bit of stick. You know what I mean? Like, and you know, if you know, there is this: if you can give it, you can't take it. But some people can't. Like, you know, listen, they're hurting. They're hurting.
They are hurting. They are. But the point of coming in from Woolwich and setting our tents in North London, if you actually look through the history books, where they are, didn't become part of North London until 1965 anyway. So who's been in North London longer? Officially.
Well, actually, they're not actually in London. I mean, I don't know if they are. They're not in Middlesex and all that. I don't really know.
I think it's 1965. Haringey became a borough of North London.
Well,
before 1965, it was Middlesex.
They are the 3rd most successful club in North London.
The 3rd, so Arsenal. Who's the second one? Barnet.
Enfield. You can't make it up, can you? You can't make it up. It's unreal. Enfield Town. But the Middlesex mugs.
Dan, did you enjoy all the shenanigans at the weekend?
Well, I must admit, I was disappointed.
Back to back Paw Patrol, didn't you, Dan?
Yeah, I got back to Paw Patrol. I was disappointed actually, because I was looking forward to it in terms of the game, but when it was cancelled,
I've got to say, Sunday weren't the same, Dan, was it?
And you know, I enjoyed it. Got a bit of an echo here for some reason. I don't know why, but someone got it.
What's that?
No, that's coming here. Hey.
Lee's probably watching.
I don't know why I'm echoing, but I am.
Judges,
I feel personally.
There you go. I mute judges, and it goes away.
Yeah, it's judges. It's always judges.
Yeah.
I must admit, I was disappointed because I was looking forward to it, as all the Gooners were, to be honest, and all Lee was as everyone. But actually, it's quite funny when you look at a good pundit like Michael Richards and you look at a bad pundit like Jamie O'Hara. It is just difference in class, isn't it? That, let's be honest, I think Michael Richards is, from what I hear and what people say, he's a bit of an Arsenal fan. But he was the only one who did stick up for us. And Sky pundits have got fantastic pundits, in my opinion. You know, they leave BT, BBC.
Only Graham Souness, actually, to be fair, which I was quite surprised about.
He did actually, and I was surprised. But I feel like it was the right thing for them to say, even if they do or don't believe it, because they look like absolute idiots. So if they did what Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville did, it's a disgrace. Even though Jamie Carragher 3 days before it was his team doing it. Tottenham had done it, by the way. They had a nice couple of weeks off and a nice bit of training when they had a couple of COVID cases. So, were we pulling a fast one? I think so. Is everyone else doing it? Yes. So why not join the club? When we had 3 games right at the start of the season, when we were told to play it, I think it's our time to have a couple of weeks break now. So, let's see what happens in the following fixtures to come and if we've got some players back. I must admit, I'm with Lee. I love a bit of banter and I love the Spurs fans that start crying that can take it. But my God, some of them are just absolutely horrendous, aren't they, on Twitter and Instagram?
I mean, there's been petitions to get us dock points. We should give them a 3-0 victory. They've even been, even one account has been egging people to write a song about it that they can sing in the stands for when the game gets rearranged. I mean, like.
So if that's the case, Craig,
I just hope to God that the footballing gods are on our side that day, and when
Let's
that
have it
rearranged
right.
fixture is played, we.
They will be. We're better than them. We're better than them, mate. They are dreadful. But I look at that and I think if you are sitting there, because all the Tottenham fans I spoke to on podcasts and in the fan base, well, we're not scared of you. Well, we'll beat you, whatever. We're not scared of you. Well, why do you want us to give you the game then? Because you're not scared of us. Why do you want to play our under 23s? Why do you want to play our under 18s? You should be saying we're not scared of you, mate. Come back when you're ready if you want. We'll still beat you. But they won't say that, will they? They'll cry. No. This is a disgrace. Everyone else can do it apart from Arsenal. It's unbelievable that it takes Arsenal this much and it goes nuts. The outrage, and half of it is, and I'll say this, and and I'm an Arsenal fan, so I can say it. We, in my opinion, were a little bit over the top with the Liverpool situation. Dodgy? Oh, yes, it was. But we were a little bit extreme, weren't we? Let's be honest, because that's what Arsenal fans are. So that's, I think, made a lot of people come back at us and start pointing the finger and saying, you're doing it now, disgraceful, disgraceful. Because that's what Arsenal fans do. They go over the top. It's what football fans do. We've proven it. Arsenal fans go over the top just like every other club goes over the top. But it was funny. It was funny, mate. I loved it.
Lee doesn't go over the top. He's calm personified.
Yeah, exactly. Calmness personified. Before we go, a quick score prediction, please, Lee, for Thursday night. We'll get a prediction off everyone. Go on.
Thursday night, 1-0 to the Arsenal.
Oh, I like it. Dan?
I think we're going to nick it 2-1. 2-1 to the Arsenal.
Mark?
67 minutes. Granit Xhaka sent off.
What a prediction. I'll stick with 2-1. I'm with Dan. I said it last night when I was speaking to Graham. 2-1 Arsenal. Lads, what a great podcast this has been this evening. Again, an absolute pleasure to sit here with you and talk about Arsenal, our great club. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you for everyone who made a kind donation. It's much, much appreciated.
Craig, could I just say, I gave out the wrong number. I'm sorry. I gave out the wrong number for...
Unbelievable.
I did. Like, I pulled me for it in the group chat. So I did put the right number in the group chat. So apologies for that. But I can't find it again now. Sorry.
Oh, that must be a group that I'm not involved with because I haven't got anything.
No. In the comments. Sorry, I put it in the comments.
So you just put it in the comments. Where?
The abuse line. You need to call. So I gave out the wrong number. For anyone who's listening on audio, domestic abuse helpline is 0808 2000 247. Sorry, I got it wrong.
That's okay, mate. You got it right. Judges, thank you very much indeed.
No problems whatsoever. Really enjoyed that. Always a pleasure.
Thank you very much, mate. Dan, thanks very much for coming along. As always, man. Much appreciated.
Cheers,
and
bro. Mark, thanks a lot, man.
No problem, mate. Mark, thank you very much indeed, sir. Thank you very much indeed. Again, my last thank you to all in the chat. 312 of you watching us live. Thank you very much indeed. Massive numbers. If you could like the video before you leave, that would be great. And if you're watching on catch up, if you could like us as well before you leave, that would be great. Audio version out on Spotify first thing tomorrow morning. Thank you very much. Until we see you again. Well, until we see you tomorrow. 4 Men and a Mic. If you're interested, coming back at you. Me, Suburban Gooner Chris, and Danny, the GFP, 7 o'clock live on the YouTubes. Thank you very much, everyone. Until we see you again, take care of yourselves and each other. Up the Arsenal.